Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and today in our Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft coverage, we're going to take a look at the Undead Warlock. So this Warlock subclass is built around the idea of having an undead as your patron. So whether that's a Dracolich, a regular lich, or a demi-lich, or some other undead, you have cool, spooky, necromantic powers. So let's jump right in. You've made a pact with a deathless being, a creature that defies the cycle of life and death, forsaking its mortal shell so it might eternally pursue its unfathomable ambitions. For such beings, time and morality are fleeting things, the concerns of those whom grains of sand still rush through life's hourglass. Having once been mortal themselves, these ancient undead know firsthand the paths of ambition and the routes past the doors of death. They eagerly share this profane knowledge along with other secrets with those who work their will among the living. Beings of this type include the demi-lich Acererak, the vampire tyrant Kaz the Bloody-Handed, the Githyanki lich queen Vlaakith, the Dracolich Dragotha, the undead pharaoh Anktapat, and the elusive Dark Lord Azalin Rex. Warlocks can get their power from literal devil, so I don't see why getting it from an undead would be any less unscrupulous. At first level, the Warlock subclasses get an expanded spell list, and note these are just additional options. These are not automatically known, although that is a popular homebrew fix. We gain Bane and False Life, Blindness, Deafness, Phantasmal Force, Phantom Steed, Speak with Dead, Death Ward, Greater Invisibility, Anti-Life Shell, and Cloud Kill. I think these are okay spells. I don't think these are great. Thematically, they make sense, but Warlock, you only have a couple spell slots. You need a lot of scalability. Bane here, I think, works well, though. But just like any concentration spell, you've got some really tough competition. Also, at first level, we get a really cool transformation called Form of Dread. You manifest an aspect of your patron's dreadful power. As a bonus action, you transform for 1 minute. You gain the following benefits while transformed. You gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Warlock level. Once during each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can force it to make a Wisdom saving throw. And if the saving throw fails, the target is frightened of you until the end of your next turn. You are immune to the frightened condition. You can transform a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. The appearance of your Form of Dread reflects some aspect of your patron. For example, your form could be a shroud of shadows forming the crown and robes of your lich patron, or your body might glow with glyphs from ancient funerary rites and be surrounded by desert winds suggesting your mummy patron. I love a good transformation. Proficiency number per long rest I think is plenty, especially as it scales up. Once you're hitting maybe 3 or 4 in your proficiency bonus, you're going to have these for every combat, realistically. Temporary hit points are always great, although I'm not sure on the value of that rolling that d10. I kind of feel like if it was just your charisma modifier plus your Warlock level, that might be a little bit better and eliminate an unnecessary roll. Or twice your charisma modifier if you want to keep it high. Inflicting the frightened condition is always great. Disadvantage is cool. And becoming immune to fear yourself is perfectly thematic. But most importantly, that cosmetic appearance is delicious. It's fantastic. It's great. I like I said, I love a good transformation. At 6th level, we gain Grave Touched. Your patron's powers have a profound effect on your body and magic. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. In addition, once during each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack roll and roll damage against the creature, you can replace the damage type with necrotic damage. While you are using your Form of Dread, you can roll 1 additional damage die when determining the necrotic damage the target takes. The first part is great. Not needing to do those bodily functions is fantastic. And guess what? Now you're great in underwater campaigns too. Now, if you've seen a lot of my videos, you know that power level of things isn't a super big deal to me because you can scale the monsters in the campaign to meet any power level of any player, so that's not a big deal. However, in the Unearthed Arcana version of this, that extra d10 and changing the damage into necrotic was you could just do it. So if you're Eldritch Blasting and you're high level, you're doing 4 necrotic bolts, each doing 2d10, assuming plus your charisma modifier, probably plus hex too. And yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. Although changing the necrotic damage to once per turn, I think is a little weird. So your Eldritch Blast, let's say you have 3 of them. You're going to do 1 necrotic and the other 2 are force. I just think that's a little clunky. I think tying the extra damage die to once per turn, I think is totally fair, or once per attack is totally fair. I don't super love the necrotic part. I really like the idea of you just going whole hog on it. At 10th level, we gain Necrotic Husk. Your connection to undeath and necrotic energy now saturates your body. You have resistance to necrotic damage. If you are transformed using your form of dread, you instead become immune to necrotic damage. In addition, when you would be reduced to 0 hit points, you can use your reaction to drop to 1 hit point instead and cause your body to erupt with deathly energy. Each creature of your choice that is within 30 feet of you takes necrotic damage equal to 2d10 plus your warlock level. You then gain 1 level of exhaustion. Once you use this reaction, you can't do so again until you finish 1d4 long rests. So resistance, of course, makes sense here. Most undead are resistant to necrotic. And then, of course, leveling that up to immunity is very powerful for a player, but I think totally in line. And I like this zombie-esque feature of you get knocked down and you get right back up, you keep going. And the explosion of energy is really cool. I like that you're able to target the creatures. I believe in the earlier version on Unearthed Arcana, it was just everybody around you. So this gives you a little bit more flexibility for a party-safe adventure. And at 14th level, we have our Capstone Spirit Projection. Your spirit can become untethered from your physical form. As an action, you can project your spirit from your body. The body you leave behind is unconscious and in a state of suspended animation. Your spirit resembles your mortal form in almost every way, replicating your game statistics, but not your possessions. Any damage or other effects that apply to your spirit or physical body affects the other. Your spirit can remain outside of your body for up to 1 hour or until your concentration is broken, as if concentrating on a spell. When your projection ends, your spirit returns to your body, or your body magically teleports to your spirit space, your choice. While projecting your spirit, you gain the following benefits. Your spirit and body gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. When you cast a spell of the Conjuration or Necromancy school, the spell doesn't require verbal or somatic components or material components that lack a gold cost. You have a flying speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. You can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside a creature or an object. While you are using your form of dread, once during each of your turns, when you deal necrotic damage to a creature, you regain hit points equal to half the amount of necrotic damage dealt. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Another transformation to step you up again. It's perfect. The idea of your spirit leaving your body. Now you've got a little bit of ghost flavor in here, a little banshee flavor. You can move through walls and you can have your body teleport to you. Okay, dungeons are over. Yeah, you only have a little bit of time to do it, but wow. That's awesome. Resistance to damage. Okay, barbarian. I'm a warlock. What's up? Casting a lot of your spells without most of your components. Awesome. That's great. Sorcerer. What's up? Flying and hovering, of course, always good. And healing yourself when you do necrotic damage. That's just, now you're a little bit of a vampire too. And it lasts for a full hour. Yeah, this is once per long rest, but an hour is a long time in game. Very cool ability. So the Undead Warlock, I'm clearly a fan. I think this is really cool, really flavorful. The abilities are generally good. I do wish that necrotic damage type change could just be for all of your stuff. Necrotic is usually pretty heavily resisted too, so it's not even like an upgrade. Like if we were trying to go to force damage, of course, I understand that. That's almost never resisted or anything. But necrotic is a fairly weak damage type. But whatever. All the transformations here make this a really cool subclass that would be very high on my list to play. What do you think of the Undead Warlock? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what kind of character you would play with it. Please stay tuned for more Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft content. Like and subscribe. Share this video. We're trying to get big. Let's do it. Thanks for watching.